Hello everybody! Welcome back to another video. Today we are back once again doing some artsy stuff, of course. I mean, what else would we be doing? But anyways, I have like my little tiny sketchbook and I pulled out my jelly gouaches for today. As you can see me, doing. I believe these are the Artex jelly gouaches. Anyways, my plan for today was just I kind of wanted to I wanted to try practice with my gouaches a little more. And so I just kind of quickly sketched out two little things. I sketched out a little mushroom, and then I also sketched out a little fairy snail. As you see, this little butterfly fairy snail type idea is it's always with me, I guess. So this is the second time I've drawn a butterfly snail, like within my videos. Now this video is older, which you could probably tell by the fact that this is my old desk. I definitely didn't forget I had this footage. Definitely not. That'd just be ridiculous. But, yeah. So, I have my little beautiful footage. I just drew out my little snail bob. I had some clouds. And then I, I have, washi tape to go around the edges. My bird's very happy about this, apparently. And so I just put my little washi tape around the edges as nicely as I could, So I just squished it down in hopes that it would stay and not just come up immediately. And then I just immediately went right in with some color. I didn't do very much testing or anything. So I really wasn't that worried about it, which is why my sketches are so fast. And because I was just it's gonna be fine. They're kind of like watercolors, but acrylics. So if I make a mistake, I could just go right on over it. So I did a background that was just two greens. I colored in a mushroom with red and then a yellowy sort of color. And I just blend those in for the stump piece, I guess. And then I made the cap red, classically mushroom. And then I just went in for the background on the snail, which I decided to be this bright sort of in-your-face blue. So I thought that'd be a pretty I thought that'd be a nice background color, kind of. So I did that. I went right on over the cloud side that it would be fine. I'll just paint them later. I am doing very thin layers so I can still see my sketch underneath. And I can kind of work with that later on. So I made the snail's body itself purple. I made it a little bit more muted. And then I made the shell this orangey sort of yellow. It kind of actually matches the color of my box of my gouaches. But anyways, I let all of that dry, and now we're back to my new desk. Here we are. Now we're in more recent times, aren't we? But I just kind of went in on the background. I gave it a nice gradient. It's a little hard to see. If I remember correctly, I messed with the saturation of my camera, which is why I look so, my one hand looks very, pale. A lot paler than it normally does. So I had messed around with that before I finally decided that I think the default's probably honestly just the best and the closest. And so yeah, that's why it looks a little weird. That was definitely my fault for messing around with the camera saturation and being well, I could probably get it to be a little closer to how it is in real life because it's default a little off. Not by much. But it's closer than whatever the crud I did to it. Anyways. I added in my background. I gradiented it between the snail, and I added in my base color of the clouds. And then, yes, birdie. And then I moved over to the mushroom. And I just kind of, added in, I guess, some super strokey kind of, greens. A dark green further back and, the brighter green forward. Made very grass I had some little dots for some cute little tiny flowers around the place. And then after that dried, I moved back over into the snail and I started working on the clouds again. I had in a nice base of white. I tried not to since I was actually trying to cover up the background here, I tried not to go over the same spot too many times as, it's gouache. If I go over it too many times, it's going to lift up the previous layer, which is exactly what I'm attempting to avoid here. So then I just try to I kind of work with it as acrylics at the moment. My first very basic layers were very watercolory, and now I kind of moving more into I use it acrylics, and that's kind of just what I'm going with. I should pull these out and use them a little more. I quite like working with gouache. It's fun. It's very fun. Anyways, I did another layer on the flowers. Made them, just try to make them a little bit more of a brighter white. And then I went back over to the clouds once again. And I grabbed like this sort of like purpley color for... Yes, you're a birdie. Oh my goodness. Made this sort of like purpley color for the shadows. And I just like made a quick layer below each cloud. And then like I kind of blended them out with this like dabbing motion you can see me kind of doing. And some of these look really great. Others I think I should have worked on a little longer, but that's okay. And then I moved back over to the mushroom again, and I added in like little white centers, yellow centers to the little white flowers. And it's just, it's so cute. It is so cute. Oh my god. And then after that, I moved back over to the snail again, since I'm doing this between drying times and everything. And I added like a really like thick coat of the purple to try to cover up the blue I had gotten all over my snail's body. Of this sort of like, I kind of moved away, like initially it was very muted, but then I kind of, oh, there's my brush. But I kind of made it be a little bit more pastel rather than more muted, and I think that looks quite nice. And now I'm going back over to the mushroom with this like super dark red, and just like, I started by outlining, and then I kind of like started bringing down the color a little bit in a nice like gradient sort of way, I guess you could say. I tried to make a very subtle but like effective sort of gradient around it. If I remember correctly, I had a reference for this one, and it kind of looked like this. So, and it was so cute. I love it so much. Though I do recognize pretty soon here that I should have done this in a different order, but you see I'm very much struggling trying to get like my gradient right. Because working with gouache is a little weird. It's not like exactly like acrylics, but it's also not exactly like the watercolors either. So they're just a little like a kind of, they're the weird middle child, I guess you could say, between the two. And then after I had like added in that sort of like colors, I kind of went back down to the stem. I repainted over the top of it a little bit, just get it be nice solid color, and decided that I was gonna let that be for a minute. Now it's looking like a real mess right now. I went back to the snail, did a couple more touch-ups, and I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wish I had drawn the snail a little differently. He looks a little stiff, but that's just art's a little older is probably just the deal. Like this I recorded long before I did like my snail sketchbook spread, so it's probably why it looks a little wonky in like comparison. But I definitely, if I were to redraw this painting again, it would definitely be different. But you know, that's a video for a different time, I guess. But I mean, he's still cute. He's still cute. But I feel like I could do better, you know. But anyways, I'm back over to that bloody mushroom. I'm trying to like get that gradient to be right, because it just like it looked off, and I guess I fixed up the stem, and then I decided that I'm gonna go back over the gradient. So now I actually did it in the correct order, because apparently I didn't know how to do that beforehand. Anyways, I just try to like blend the crud out of it, not make it look like super streaky or anything. Just try to make it look like nice, like it's decent. And I think I actually did a pretty good job on that. It starts finally just looking really good with its gradient. It looks so good. And then I moved back over to snail by adding in some little shadows. I do, of course, some purple shadows over on the body. I kind of just like placed them where I think they should be, and then I like dabbed them out a bit just to make them like shadowy. I had a loss for words there. I don't know what I was going with that sentence originally, but I lost it about halfway through there. Anyways, I just added all the little shadows, little details, and it's looking really good. I really like the way I did the shadows on these. I think they look quite nice. Like, I think the clouds could have used a little bit more work. The foreground clouds. The ones in the background, like super far in there, look pretty good. But I think the closer ones could have had a little more to them. And then I painted in his little eyes with like a nice dark brown. I touched up his like little eye stalk area just to make him, you know, adorable. And then I'm going back in on the shell finally and just giving it a nice coat of solid orangey yellow. It's definitely more orangey now, I guess. So Give it a nice solid coat of that. Gosh, y'all are talkative today, aren't you? And then I also go back onto the background right here, and I'm touching up a mistake. At some point, like, I had drawn outside the lines and, like, smudged it and, like, lifted the background a little bit. And the good thing about gouache is that you just go right on over it. It's like acrylics. It's like nothing happened. I add little shinies to the snail eyes, and he's adorable. And then I move over to the mushroom. I add in all these little dots, and I try very hard to, like I put a whole lot of them right on the very top, and then, like, got, like, really sparse with it as I went down. And then I added in, like, some grass. And now I'm back over on snail, adding in another layer of orange. Because it's taking a lot of orange to cover up all that blue. And after that, I'm adding another layer of orange. Yeah, 2 completely different layers. I bet you wouldn't have guessed that. It looks like the exact same footage as I just showed you now, doesn't it? Oh my god. But I just try to clean up the edges a little bit, make it kind of, you know, look like it's on him. And I do another layer of orange after that, because I cannot escape the blue. It keeps poking through in spots. And finally, I just touch up some shadows on the snail, touch up his little snaily body. I do one final touch up to, like, the area around the shell, like that area where I had screwed up on. And then now I'm going back in and I'm adding in, like, the little wings. I'm making them be, you know, visible now, finally. Like, I don't think I've actually done a single layer on them yet. But I finally start adding those in. And before this, I kind of, like, sketched it out with a wet paintbrush and then put them back on. So I did that, and then while that was drying, I added in, like, little spots onto this snail, which also is a really cute idea since now it kind of looks like the mushroom. Like, it's like kind of a set. You know, the snail shell's all speckly, the mushroom's all speckly. Wait, it would have been cute if I did them in, like, the same colors, so then they would have been, like, really cohesive together. Wait, that would have been so cute. Oh, that's another idea for another time. Because I think at this point I was trying to use a bunch of different colors. But then now I really just want to make, like, 2 paints that look really good together on, like, a spread. I think that'd be really cool. And I just go ahead and add in some shadows to the shell. I really honestly forgot I did this. I thought I left that shadowless. I guess, you know, that was incorrect. But I kind of use this, like, reddy orange color, and I blob that on, and then I dab it out just like I was doing before. It's essentially the exact same thing as I've done on. Actually, I guess I did more blobby sort of, like, fake shadows on the snail. I did, like, very gradients and whatnot on the mushroom. So I think I was trying to sort of just figure out what the crud I was doing. And then I signed my little mushroom here. And I'm going back over to snail. I'm coloring in the wings. I decided to make the wings, like, be, like, yellowish. So I thought that would look super cute. Because then everything's kind of like a similar color scheme, but then everything kind of pops. Like, I kind of wish the snail itself was a warmer color. I think that would have been cute. But, you know, hindsight. But I still think he's super cute the way he is. He looks really good with the background in his shell. Like, he kind of, like, his shell and his wings, like, really pop against him. Since it's the orange and the yellow's the complementary color, so it just kind of makes, like, a little between him. It's still super adorable. Now I'm just going in and touching up those little speckles he has all over his shell. And then I'm going back in with a darker orangier color on the wing, trying to make the shadow, like, actually look like there's a shadow, not just I screwed up mixing my color, what a dorcas. No, but I made it look actually good. And then I'm going in here and I'm adding in, like, little, like, swirlies and stuff on the wings. These definitely went a little bit more on the fairy side rather than on the butterfly side. So it's I get a lot of, like, little, like, Tinkerbell swirlies and, like, designs and lines and dots and whatnots. And so, you know, that's definitely more reminiscent of fairies rather than, like, butterflies. And then I put my little signature at the bottom of this one, and then I peel away all the tape, attempting to be satisfying. It's not going very well now, is it? But look at that. Boom. We also have all of it. Go. Oh no. I have a weird fear of, like, when I do this, my paint's gonna, like, rip up with the tape. I always feel that's how it's gonna go. But anyways, here's the final result of the little paintings. I have my snail and the mushroom, and they look so good. They turned out so well. But anyways, that's all time for I have today. As always, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!